So this is just one of them quick videos, but you know, some people out there kind of need this advice. It's basically, as you can see from the title, fragrances for events and gatherings that aren't events or gatherings and are definitely not parties. So what would you wear to these sorts of events? Now obviously this is based around the current nonsense that's going on in the UK, and somebody who really struggles to tell the truth and turns up to events and just doesn't realise that they're parties. Sorry, not parties, works events with lots of wine, music, people dancing, probably topless pole dancers and what. They're definitely not parties. I'm not biased, you know, if he says it. This well established liar who's been sacked. Anyway, so it's just a bit of fun and just fragrances for such an event. So first up is that well-known office gathering, but not a gathering, fragrance called Ultramal. Generally you wear it in these offices that have some pumping rave music, you know, and lots of people dancing and sweaty, of course whilst they're working at their desks, socially distanced. And Ultramal is a kind of very super sweet. It is over the top. It's very strong, very sweet. Pineapple, pear, kind of this rich, sugary, syrupy sweetness. Musks, there's woods in there. But it's kind of one of these that, you know, you love smelling in a nightclub. I mean, office. It's just an absolutely fantastic fragrance for such an event. Then after that, what I'd say is also a great fragrance for such an occasion is, of course, Mugler's Alien. Again, it's a very noticeable kind of attention-grabbing fragrance. It's a mixture of dark jasmine, white musks, ambers. Just a beautiful kind of loud, very distinctive fragrance. It's one of them that's going to get you noticed as you're sat at your desk knocking back shots of water. That's definitely not vodka. Whilst listening to music, I mean deeply intellectual podcasts that help you work. So that's Mugler's 8. I have a video about a gathering in a workplace that, you know, doesn't include dew bomb. That beautiful, super sweet, super recognisable fragrance that we all love. It's definitely, you know, very subtle. So you might need to go 2 or 3 sprays to be noticed in the workplace. I mean, be that in a garden where there are lots of people drinking, but you might be mistaken that it's a party with all the music and the dancing, but it's definitely not. Anyway, I'll stop that. But yeah, dew palm, beautiful, synthetic, lovely, sweet, kind of cherry orange blossom, in your face. Definite one for giving it a bit of this. So, and this is what gets our main blonde light, I mean Prime Minister, off the hook. This very, very specific fragrances that's for the office place, for the workplace, and it's so kind of meant for that it's actually called Office. Maybe Boris was wearing Office. Now it smells like an amped up mixture of Aventus and Sauvage. It's very loud. It's kind of got that pineapple about it. It's got the ambroxan. It's got like patchouli, and it's kind of, yeah, it's one of these lovely fragrances that would definitely get you noticed. And this is the sort of office, clearly, that our government works in, where they can have a bit of a alleged socially distanced party where they're right next to each other knocking back wine, and it not actually be a party because they're all wearing Office. I mean, Jeremy, you've saved our government. Well done. Somebody needs to write to Boris about this. I did say I'd stop having a dig, but yeah. So that other kind of non-social gathering where only 2 people are allowed together, even if they kind of are from the same workplace, where there was 40 people, event is Office for Men from Fragrance 1, Jeremy Fragrance. And next up is the fragrance that we all kind of used to smell in the takeaway at the end of the night, after work of course, where you just fancy a really greasy kebab, because you've been working so hard, and that's black opium. Now, I'm not knocking this fragrance. Obviously, it's my favourite ever, isn't it? That kind of beautiful jasmine, a little touch of coffee, kind of darkness, orange blossom in there. Beautiful dark floral. But it's definitely one I'd associate more with the end of the night. Take from that what you will. But it's going for a bit of food after your long, hard day's work. And that's YSL's black. Last up on the list is the inevitable resignation after all your complete lies. Well, I mean, they're quite obvious lies, but when nobody can take any more of them. And the fragrance I've picked for that event is going to be Fabergé's. Is it Fabergé? Whatever. Brut. And that's because it's kind of the sort of fragrance we expect him to wear. He's going to be holding his head down, not really wanting to stand out or be noticed. And he can go back to having all these work events at home, and, you know, maybe he doesn't know where he lives. Maybe he's just so confused he's got serious issues. So maybe after his eventual resignation and bit of moral kind of goodness about him, which doesn't exist, he'll be wearing Brut to say goodbye to the nation. Maybe even a few tears. Who knows? Who cares? Obviously this video is just a little bit of fun. How could I not mention it? I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like a 1960s British farce film, isn't it? Where you just got idiots running around doing slapstick crap. But the fact is, it's the running of our country. Not a political video, because this is nothing to do with politics. This is to do with just current affairs and what's right or wrong. But what fragrance would you wear to not an event, but not a gathering, but definitely not a party? What fragrance would you choose to wear to such an illegal event? Of course it's not illegal now, we can all go out and do this. But yeah, thanks folks, bye.
Rooks.
Hello, Prime Minister. I'd just like to ask you, how important is it for someone in your position of power to always tell the truth?
I think it's
Individual character. Does the truth matter in this election?
I think it does, and I think it's very important. I think it's very important to hear from
a racist, misogynist and homophobic guy, and he needs to apologise for his comments he's made in the past.